All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. We're joined by Arkansas. We have head coach Courtney Deifel, Robin Heron, and Carly Davison. We'll start with an opening statement from coach, then take questions for the student athletes, and finish with questions for coach whenever you're ready.
I just, more than anything, just have an immense amount of pride for this team. What they've done, what they continue to do, who they are, how they play, how they fight together. Tonight was phenomenal in every aspect. And they just set their mind to it. I mean, I am just so proud I'm their coach, but they were phenomenal tonight. I'm just really, really proud.
Questions for the athletes. Ethan, go ahead.
Start with you, Robin. Just what were your emotions when you heard that you were going to get the start, and then how does it feel for you being this your third year, and now y'all are moving on for the first time since you've been here?
Yeah, I was when Cushy told me I was starting, I was actually really excited. I was not actually, but not no, not like that. I was really excited and I was eager to get back on the mound after yesterday maybe didn't go my way, but I was just ready to get the ball back. And as far as moving on, I am so excited. I'm so proud. I knew we were gonna like do this and that we were capable of doing this. So just but getting there, it's a feeling I can't even explain.
Carly, looked like y'all were just having a lot of fun today, and of course you got to cap it with the home run. Just what was going on with all the hitters in the lineup to produce such a good day at the plate?
Yeah, the hitters were amazing today, and it was just a lot of fun. Whoever was in the box, we were all just really committed to the plan. After yesterday, we weren't like really ourselves in the box, and so we knew that we had to make that adjustment today, and we did it. So it was really just fun to be a part of it. I can Everyone in the lineup just played a huge role in all of the run production today, so it was just a lot of fun.
You knew that they weren't going to go out without a fight, and they had the bases loaded, and you came up with that snag. Would just walk me through kind of that play and how that fired y'all up, and what y'all were able to do after that.
Yeah, it was just a reaction. Reagan Johnson catches everything out there, and so when I didn't hear it call a ball, I was just like, okay, time to go get it. So yeah, it was a big play. I'm glad I got to show up for Robin, who had been just really lights out the whole game.
Yeah, Robin, you guys went into the bottom of the first inning with that 3-0 lead. Just how big was that for you to just get your start with a decent lead in hand?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, when you're ahead, it kind of fuels you to just go after batters and to be really confident. And I think that was definitely a good start to the game, and it just helped me, settle in, maybe ease some nerves, but just really be able to go after every batter on their side.
Robin, Carly, for either of you, feels like 3 years ago, but this game was delayed, over 4 hours. Just kind of what y'all do, during the rain delay and stop start. We were probably minutes away from starting, and then had to go, away and start all over again.
We were actually just watching softball the entire time, and we were getting really into the game. So, we were still locked into softball, even though it was, I don't know, a couple hour, 2 hour break. But we were definitely the games are intense these days. So, you can't get away from softball this time of year.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were having fun just watching the games. We were also just really ready to play, and we were having a lot of fun, and it was just a really good vibe in the team room watching softball. So by the time we got on the field, it was like, okay, let's go. It's our turn. We had some FOMO watching those games, and so when it was our turn, we were really ready.
And then Robin, I think you went through like the first 4 innings on something like 32 pitches. Like, is that something that you noticed after the first start, that just be willing to pitch to contact, or, what kind of maybe allowed you to do that?
Yeah, I think I did notice that my pitch count was low, and I mean, it feels good to not throw a lot of pitches, but um, some days I'm a strikeout pitcher, and some days it's more of a pitch to contact day. So either they both end up in outs. So, I'll take a low pitch count.
Carly, you're the bottom of the lineup today between Tal, Kennedy, and you had 8 RBI. Just what did you think of y'all's ability to come up big?
Yeah, they've both been on fire. Tal 8 for her last 8, which is incredible. It's Yeah, it really helps me watching their at bats. They're just really gritty, and they looked really composed in the box. So the top of the lineup does a lot for our team. So it's nice to have their back sometimes, even though today they did great too.
Do we have questions on Zoom for the student athletes?
I do for the players. I noticed you were dancing a little bit after the game. Who's the best dancer on the team?
You go.
Today we had Italia Rio dancing in the circle. Um, who would be the best dancer? What do you think?
I think
Coach
Coach Gibb
Gibb
had some
had some
moves.
moves.
Casey Wood had some moves.
Ella's always dancing.
She
You can count on
is.
her. Yeah.
You know, everyone had a little pep in their step today.
All think they're the best dancers.
Are the coaches included in the dance here, or is it just players?
Oh, coaches got to get down too.
The young ones.
Your time is soon.
What did it mean for you, for the players, to jump on them early after the way you beat them yesterday? Just jump on them and keep that momentum on your side.
Yeah, I thought it was huge. Just getting that first punch. We knew that they were going to be gritty and tough, like we saw yesterday, but it felt really good to have that lead and just keep throwing punches. Yeah, it was huge.
And then, Robin, how did you stay so locked in after that long delay? This was your night? Were you locked in the zone? How did you feel out there? Because you looked locked in there.
I did feel locked in, but for me, locked in is kind of staying loose and not really being quiet. Like I like to have fun in the dugout. I like to, cheer with my teammates, cheer on my teammates, but I think the hitters definitely helped me stay locked in, and the defense helped me stay locked in because it was just exceptional on all sides of the ball, and so that makes my job a lot easier when it's good all around.
Thank you, ladies.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right. Thank you, ladies. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Now we'll take questions for Coach Deifel. Ethan, go ahead.
Courtney, congrats. Just what was going through your mind as the delays just kept getting longer and you knew it was going to be later for your team to play? Like, what was the anxiety like?
Well, I mean, they're right. We just watched softball. We hung out. I think you just hope that they were so ready when we took the field the first time, and even going through Rob's whole warm up, she was dialed. You could feel it. And then you get shut down for 4 hours, and it's like you just hope they keep that same level. But there were times that I would go in there and talk to them about a game, and they were they were having a blast hanging out together, and just kept really locked in, like they said. And you could feel it when they walked out. You could feel that they were ready to go.
After yesterday's close call and just the way you won that game, and now for your team to win this way, what do you think that winning two different ways like that in one weekend does for the team moving forward?
Well, I think it's huge. I think it's huge. I think yesterday's game was a huge turning point for us. I think that it was a moment where we had to dig deep. We had to find a way. We had to keep fighting. We had to be relentless. We had to do all of those things that we've showed throughout the year. In a moment where you could feel like your back was against the wall, you could feel like it wasn't going your way. And them finding a way to win that game, it's like we turned the page and it was like, okay, let's go. And I'm so proud of them. I think we've won in different ways throughout the entire year. So this weekend's been like a small snapshot of what we've done over the entire year. But it was big for this team. It's big for this team. And I know everyone's doing their job, but you have this narrative from your guys' side of like, oh, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Remember last year? And this team is different. This team isn't last year's team. This team isn't 2 years ago. This team's wired different. And they had moved on and they know they're different. And so just continuing to handle the mentality of the game, handle the emotion of the game, and perform at a high level. I am continuously impressed with them, but I am so impressed with what they did this weekend.
And then Tao, after missing last season, coming back this year, first postseason that she's had in a few years, just what do you think about what she's done the past 2 days?
She's just a big-time player. She's a big-time player with a ton of confidence. And what goes underrated is just how smooth she is on defense. She came up big offensively for us. I'm not sure she got out the last couple days. Hunter? No? 8 for 8? Okay. Like, she's just locked in. You can you could really focus on the flashy part of the offense, and she was outstanding, but her defense was exceptional. Our defense was incredible tonight, and game-changing, and so I just thought she brought it on both sides.
I know the first inning might feel like it was 4 days ago, but you had the challenge on the first run that ended up being successful. Just did that feel like it was going to be a big moment of the game? How much do you think that maybe shifted momentum in your guys' favor?
Yeah, I think it's a really big moment, just scoring first and feeling like, gosh, man, it felt like she got in, and she's like, gosh, I think I got in. Wiki was like right on it, like I think she was in. You have to go for it, and even in that moment, it's like, you're thinking the conditions are going to be wet. Okay, can she deliver the ball? She like put it right on the nose, and Jimmy just had a really great slide in there. And when that came back and she was safe, you could feel, you could feel the momentum. I don't think it would have deterred us if we didn't go our way. This team was just vibing in a different way tonight, but it's always great when it does go your way early and you get one on the board and you're passing the bat to the next. So I think it was a huge moment.
And that kind of aggressive base running kind of felt like, at least from my perspective, it was going on all night. How much of an emphasis did you guys put on that in this game?
Well, I think more than anything, it was just some really great hits. Getting aggressive leads, getting good reads on the ball, but our hits were in spots that we could definitely push it a little bit, and so I just think it was. I think that was just firing all cylinders. It just really flowed really well in every aspect.
And you touched on the defense already a bit, but Robin holding a really good offensive team to just 3 hits and a shutout. Just what do you think that says about her to have a performance like that in this kind of moment? She's
a fighter. She lit up when I told her she was getting the ball, and I said, "How do you feel about that?" And she's like, "I'm excited. Let's go." And she. I just think that this team turned a page from yesterday to today. I think they grew up a little bit from yesterday to today. I think individually and collectively they did that, and she did too. And for her to want the ball when yesterday, she didn't pitch badly. It just, the score wasn't really reflective of how she did. It just kind of, they got some breaks. It kind of went, not our way. But it could easily kind of this game can just play tricks on your mind. And for her to want the ball and for her to just fight and be just so in command, she's a fighter.
Hey, Coach, you talk about your team being different this year and wired differently. Can you go into more detail on that? And how much do you really talk about, or how big is it, I should say, to have lost in this spot the past 2 years in the regional? But this year you turn it around, and now you're going back to super regionals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it would take anybody long when you walk into Bogle or anywhere when you get the opportunity to see this team and just see that they're different. They're different in how they approach everything. They're different in their competitive energy, just the competitive connection they have with each other. And just their intentionality with what they do. They play with a ton of passion. They just do the little things right. And they've never flinched. So even when things don't necessarily go our way, they don't flinch. They look at it as an opportunity to get better and to be stronger together. But this team wants to be coached. This team wants to be challenged. This team wants the moment. And then they have belief because we can coach them hard. They're prepared for anything that comes their way. And they have an unwavering belief in themselves and each other. And I think that's the thing where we could turn the page from teams in the past. This team is not teams in the past. This team is made up of, I think we have half newcomers, half returners. And they're just so intentional with everything they do every day, and they commit to it every day. So they've been, I say this all the time, they've been an absolute joy to coach, just an absolute joy.
4-hour rain delay seemed like the crowd hung in there for, literally 4 hours. Maybe just a quick word on them and how big they are, not only this weekend, but also next weekend.
Oh gosh, our crowd was so great the whole weekend. They were really big yesterday too. In the 7th inning, you could just feel the whole, just all the fans stand up and it's like, we got you, let's do this, we're doing this. And you could feel it all around Bogle. You could feel it in our dugout too. So I don't know which one came first, but it was just such a collective energy. And when you have that long of a rain delay and it's not great weather and it looked pretty nasty out there for a while, you're wondering if they're going to hang in there with us. And they did, and they brought so much energy. And we're feeding off not only our team and our level of play, but our dugout. They were on another level today, and it took everyone. It took everyone in Bogle, and we have the best fans.
Given the way you guys won, the first game against Oklahoma State, it was still only 6-0 after the fifth. I'm wondering from your coach's perspective, like at what point did you kind of start counting outs?
Well, I didn't count outs.
Okay.
Sometimes I do. I don't know that that necessarily works well for me. It was more of just being really in the moment. Just being with Rob every pitch of just calling those pitches, and she was locked in today, and so I wasn't getting ahead of anything, and neither was the team. But you could feel it. That six, although it felt like we had all the momentum, six doesn't feel like a lot when you have bases loaded and they have outs to play with. So you just know that in this game, it's so offensive that at any point they can put four up. They could put, a couple up, get some momentum back. And for Rob to make the pitch and Katie to make that play in shallow center, that was the knockout punch. We needed those two or plus for the knockout punch, but the knockout punch was Katie's play today.
And then last one from me, just are you going to watch the rest of Ole Miss Arizona, or how does the rest of your night look?
I probably will. I probably will now that we know for sure we're lining up. But I am going to enjoy this. I'm hungry. It's been a long day, so I'll probably eat, but we're going to enjoy this tonight and then get back to practice. Pretty excited to get back with this team.
Questions on Zoom for Coach Deifel.
Yeah, for Coach. I mean, just speak of, I can sense it in your voice too, about the appreciation of winning a regional. It's hard to win a regional. You know this as well as anybody after the last couple of years. I know you're not aware of this, but Texas A&M just got knocked out in the regionals by Liberty, first number 1 seed to ever lose in a regional. Just speak to how hard is it to win a regional, what your team came through coming from behind yesterday. You need games like that sometimes to win a regional like this, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You need the familiarity and confidence in knowing you can win a lot of different ways, and knowing that you're battle tested, and knowing that if you have outs, you have a chance. It is really hard to win a regional. It's hard to win in general. It's harder than it's ever been. There's so much parity in the sport. I thought our twos, the whole field was so strong, but the twos were so strong. And it's tough, with how our postseason is formatted. We knew it didn't matter if we got the 4 seed or if we got the 14 seed. We knew we were going to get Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State's probably, if not the best two in the field, they're at least one of the top 3 twos in the field. And so that's the hard thing is, we know that we're going to get one of the toughest twos, and we're the 4 seed, so it's been a tremendous level of softball in this tournament. It is a game more than ever that anybody can beat anybody. I tell that to my kids all the time, my actual kids, that they're like, oh, well, who should win? Like, there's no shoulds in this game. The game doesn't know. Everybody is so good. It's so hard to win. And so you just have to show up and give them the best you got. And so, yeah, that was a long answer, but just really proud of this team winning in different ways.
Is this game tonight the closest to perfection that your team has played this year?
Oh, gosh, how could I not say yes? They were phenomenal in every aspect of the game tonight. So, yeah, I think, I just think this is the best we've played tonight. And I thought we were firing on all cylinders. I thought we brought it. Every single person on the roster, everybody on the dugout brought the best they had for us tonight. And that's what it takes. So, yes, absolutely.
Speak of the bottom of this order. We've talked since February about this offense. I've asked you, do you think this could be the best offense you've ever had? You hate that question. But this bottom of the order, was explosive. I mean, Riho was fantastic. Davidson, just speak to the bottom of the order. I think they produced drove 9, 10 runs. I've lost track. But it's as you've said, it's not just one player. It's everybody in this lineup can beat you.
Well, that's what's so special about this team is it's someone different every day. And Atalia Rijo didn't get out the last 2 days. Like what? That's so hard to do. And she was driving the ball. She hit a bomb. She went opposite field for a single. Like she was just so locked in. And this team is so complete. This offense is so complete. We didn't even hit that many long balls this weekend, and we drive the ball. Just their at bats, the way they score, the way they manufacture, the way that it's someone different every day. There's so much freedom that comes from that. And there's so much freedom knowing that you can go after it. And if it doesn't go your way, the next person's going to pick you up. And I think that's what it shows is it takes everybody. A lot of times when you're in the grind in a postseason game, it is the bottom of your order that steps up and finds a way. There's so much focus put on Brie Ellis, and little do you know, I mean, we have a really good supporting cast, and those players around her through the knockout punch this weekend. But it is very complete. I don't like that question just because, I don't want the ones in the 22, which is the other one that thinking that I think this team's better, but this offense is complete. It has all the tools that they need. And they've shown that game in and game out of just finding different ways to score and put pressure on the other team.
Jackson, go ahead.
Hey, Courtney, on Thursday, Bree talked about how this team could get punched in the face and they'd be able to respond. I'm curious, what are your emotions as a coach listening to that and then seeing over, the course of 3 days, especially what happened Saturday, the team, they live up to the expectations that they set for themselves?
Well, it fires me up. It fires me up because they say it and they mean it, and they know that they're ready for anything. They're ready for anything that's thrown at them, and some things aren't going to go their way. Some things are going to go their way, and they just stay the course. And this season has not been a straight line. This weekend wasn't a straight line for us, and this team just relies on each other, and they dig in and they fight together, and they do know, they wholeheartedly believe to their core that it doesn't matter what punch is thrown or what is given to them. They're going to answer. They're going to counter. They have everything that they need, and they believe that. And it fires me up because I know that, and sometimes they don't actually see that, even though the coaches know, And so when they say it, it's just like, heck yeah, absolutely. It fires me up. I love coaching this team. I just love coaching this team.
Anything else for Coach Deifel? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.